The biggest reason that you can get a customer to click on your product is because of your main photo. And the bigger and more competitive of a niche you're in, the more this photo actually matters. So if I was to ask you between this photo and this photo, which of these two photos would you click? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's going to be this photo right here. That was probably pretty easy. But what about this photo or this photo? Or even this photo? Taking your photo from bad to good is pretty simple, but taking a photo from good to great is a lot harder. It can even be pretty subjective based on the person looking at that specific photo. And so that is why when you change the angle or the lighting or even the person in the photo, or in this case a dog, it becomes a lot harder to figure out whether or not you have a good photo. And with photos being the main reason why someone's going to click on your product listing when they see it, it is very essential that you optimize your main image. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys some easy and actionable steps to come up with the best potential product photo for your product and an easy way to get real life people who have real opinions for your specific photo and get their feedback on which image is actually the best. Because once again, the image that you may think is best is not always what your customer or other people think is best. And if you're serious about maximizing the number of clicks you get and really increasing the number of people who view your product and actually come onto your listing, then having this main image is so essential. Now, for the keyword dog beds for large dogs, we have over 4,000 results for this keyword. Now, this is going to be, once again, the more competitive your niche is, the more and more of this main image is going to matter, because once again, there's lots of competitors who have money to make better main images, and so the main images matters the most because everyone's fighting for this first page. Now we can see what kind of images they have. If we scroll further down past these sponsored, we see the first organic results. And so we have multiple dogs. And so if you look at the dogs, this is where we want to focus on angles. So whatever category you're entering in, you want to do the following. Number one, focus on the different angles that your competitors are using. So if we scroll down, we have these first three. They're all using a front angle. Go further down, we have the next four. They're all using a front angle. This guy and this guy this guy is using a slight side angle. And if we scroll further down, we have the first person who we see using an actual angle. They're using an angle, not a front angle, but an angle. That's not really the right term, but they're using the picture at an angle. And so what this does is it gives you a difference. It makes you stand out. If you scroll further down, we have the first person who uses this nice, super soft looking bed, but once again, it's at an angle. It's not at the front, it's at an angle. And so what you want to do is you want to focus on what these competitors are doing. We also have another one right here using an angle, but once again, his background, more of a modern home background. Now that may or may not appeal to people, but it really depends on the person. It's all subjective. Scroll further down, we have more front angles, no dog, front angle, more, and then we have a back angle. Now the first step is looking at the different results. You want to spend 5 to 10 minutes looking at all the different angles that people are using, different angles of the dog, different angles of the dog bed. We had one dog that was frontwards, one dog that's laying sideways, one dog that's actually laying out towards you. And you want to compile this data. And so you want to have examples, because you have to have these pictures made, created, whether you're using Fiverr, whether you're using Outline-Matic, whatever professional product picture platform you're using to get your product sourced, you have to get them made correctly. So what I would do is I would grab this person right here. This is the example that we're going to use for the front dog. Grab the link, entitle it front doggy, and then have the link right there. And then we're going to come back to the search page and we're going to find not the front angle, but the side angle right here where we have the dog angled at us. And so we're going to copy this doggy link, angled doggy link right here. And then we have the angled doggy link. It's very simple, but what we want to do is we want to compile the different angles. For the next one, we have 2 dogs on the front angle. So we copy this link. We want to come to our Google Docs, and then we want to actually paste the link here. And so what we're doing is we're taking account of the top angles and the top designs that these pictures have in common. And so we're going to use common sense. In my opinion, I think the dog with the front-facing dog, not the dog laying down to sleep, but the dog with the front-facing dog looking at you is the best design. Not the dogs that are looking somewhere else or looking at something else. You want to have the dog looking at you. That's in my personal opinion, because I know that when humans are looking at you using your product, smiling, then they are going to be a lot more likely to buy than someone who's looking to the left or looking to the right. There's psychology behind it that when you can see another human's eyes or another dog's eyes, that you're going to be a lot more likely to think that product is for you, that it works, and that you're going to buy it. Now, after we have 2 to 4 of the top angles, whether we're taking this product picture ourselves or whether we're getting it designed, we want to send these links to our specific designer and have him design our main image multiple layouts. Now that's the third step. It's extremely important that you have multiple layouts of your main image, because if you just simply go with the first image that he gives you and you don't ask him for multiple images, then you're only limited with how much time you put into that main image and how well that main image is. Maybe the main image was too small. Maybe the bed could have been blown up more. Maybe you could have had the doggy at a front angle versus having it, he gave you a side angle. You know, you have too much white space, because if we look back, we see that this dog's taking up a lot of space in comparison to this dog. This dog looks a lot smaller, a lot more white space at the top. This dog has a lot less white space and looks more happy. And once again, the side angle with the front dog, in my opinion, is going to do really well in this market. But that's only after spending time looking at the pictures, compiling data, and once again, either taking the pictures ourselves or sending this to our designer and having him design the designs that are going to be most beneficial for us. Now, getting your designs are very, very simple, but you need to be detail oriented. You need to tell him the specific links of other products that you want to have your design based off of, similar angles, colors. You know, most products aren't gonna be like this where you have a specific dog or a specific person in that main image, but a lot of products are just gonna be the product itself, and that product's gonna be a different angle, different lighting, maybe a different level, but you wanna have the specific image already in mind, a very good example of what to give him so that he can design it based on what you think is good. So we can use services like Fiverr, Outlinematic.com, or we can even use Upwork to get our images designed very high quality for not too expensive. And now, once we have these images, this is where it becomes very, very powerful. We can figure out the top main image. Let's get into it. And so now, once we have these top designs, angles, images, we have our top 3 to 5 images, we can actually take those images and figure out the specific image that is going to be voted on by real people who give us real data on what image is going to be the best image for our launch. Very essential that you have the top image optimized once you launch, so that you come out the gate getting clicks, getting sales. So to do this, we come to helium10.com and we scroll down to the audience market feedback tab. And once again, this is going to be real people. You can get very, very specific in your customer avatar, identify exactly who's going to be buying your target, and have this market feedback poll specifically towards them. Let me explain. So if we come to create new poll, we are going to basically have a ton of options. Now, this is not just for product main images. We can do it for logo design, main image, secondary, infographics, concept, maybe your product name, your product packaging, your listing title. You can do it for a ton of things. It's very, very convenient, but for this example, we'll do it for the main image. We'll select that. And this total is going to be $50 to get a ton of people voting on your product to give you real life feedback. And it is money, and it is going to be money well spent, because you could save money and not get feedback, or you could spend a little money on feedback and get a lot more clicks and a lot more conversions that's going to pay for itself 100 times over. Step 2, this is where you write your specific questions. So for example, which product image do you think is going to be the best? They give you suggestions. How does this image make you feel? Which product would you rather buy? Based on the image, which product would you rather buy? For this example, I will for this one. This one seems to be the most specific. Go down to step 3, we have the product images. So this is where you would attach your product images. Now you want to do one image versus the other image. Even if you have 4 main images, you want to pick the best 2 that you think are going to convert the most, and you want to run them up against each other. And so you have a specific poll. Is this better or is this better? Once you start having 3, 4 images, it becomes too much for the human brain, and your results are going to be a lot more inaccurate than having just 2 main images. Now, this is where you can choose a general audience, or you can choose a custom audience. So general audiences are going to be for products that are more universally used. Custom audiences are going to be for products that are very niche and that are very specific. So for example, if I'm selling this yoga block, this could be for most likely for women who are going to be, let's say, 20 to 40 years old, who want to practice yoga. And so if you do a custom audience and we come down to age range, we can do from 25 to 34 years old. Amazon Prime membership, sure. It's going to be for women. And so you can get very, very specific. You can have, if you have an audiobook consumption, probably not. If they're going to be app store spending habits, and you can get very specific with whoever your target audience is. Do they have a dog? Are they in crypto? Do they use eBay? Is their credit score good? Are they in cosmetics and body care? And so as you can see, there's a lot of different things that you can get very specific and identify who your target audience is. And what Helium 10 will do is they will run into people who they have all over the world who are, getting paid to do this, to basically vote on your product and tell you specific reasons why they would get it, why this image is better than this one, X, Y, and Z. Now for custom audiences, they are slightly more expensive, as you can see, but for most products, you may want to use a general audience, but once again, even if you are using a custom audience, it's going to be money well spent because that main picture is going to generate thousands and thousands of clicks down the line. Think of it like that. It's not a short term, I'm spending $40 more, but it's a long term, I'm making hundreds of thousands more dollars because my product image is optimized, and overall I'm doing a lot better, getting a lot more return on my investment for a specific product image poll. The next step 5, is choosing how big the audience size is. $50 is for 50 people. 500 for $500. Now I usually go with the 50 because once again, it's not a huge big sample size, but at the same time, it still is enough data to figure out whether or not this image is better than this image. Step 6 is where they have even more customer avatar. Do they travel frequently? Exercise frequently? Probably yes. Interest in cooking? Maybe not. Coffee consumption? Most likely. Maybe not. Who knows? Nutritional supplementations consumption for sure. And so you can see that you can get very, very specific. Audience size is 50, and once you get more specific, once again, they threw $50 more into it. The next thing you want to do is proceed to checkout, and basically you have your pictures uploaded, your specific customer avatar, and they're going to give you this data back and tell you exactly what product image people chose. Did they like the side angle? Did they like the front angle? Did they like the doggy looking at you, the doggy on the side? They'll give you all that specific information based on the pictures that you upload. Make sure that you use Helium 10 to do an A/B split test to test out your main image, because once again, it can be a difference between your product actually succeeding and your product failing. The main image is so essential. If you learned anything new out of this video, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe down below, because I release multiple step-by-step videos every single week showing you how to sell on Amazon.com. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.